Welcome to the Texas Go Radio Show. I'm your host, Matorius. This is part 4 of the 1871 live stream by Owen Benjamin.
I can keep it fairly tight. That's it. So it's a story about money. Okay, so that's my quick breakdown of Titanic. And I can keep it fairly tight. That's it. So it's a story about money.
How ironic. It's a story about money. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is some coverage of Owen Benjamin, and whenever you boil it down, it's literally just a story about money. Back in 2020, he orchestrated a financial scam. Him and a gentleman named Sam, from what I understand, orchestrated during a worldwide pandemic, during a worldwide crisis, that if you gave Owen money, he would buy land with it that you would be able to use for the rest of your life, that you would be able to use in case of an emergency. If the world and society went to hell in a handbasket, you would have a place to go. And this was during the worldwide crisis. I don't know what you were doing during 2020, during the pandemic, whenever everything was shut down. I was working 60 plus hours a day. I thank God in hindsight that I was not listening to this dude, that I was still not listening to this guy. Stopped listening back in 2018. Got too busy and and it wasn't. I wish I could say that red flags came up and I decided to not. There were some red flags. I remember one moment in particular where it was a direct situation, and his reaction to whatever happened, I was like, okay, that was a bit unnecessary. But no, it wasn't anything that I was like, oh, I'm done with Owen. No, I just got busy and stopped listening, stopped watching. I looked him up whenever I was working in Houston. Came across the panda clip. But anyways, back to Mr. Moneybags Owen Benjamin.
It's a story about the banks. And it's a story about a strain of a financial virus that was resisted against in the American economy for 150 years that finally got in. And they got in with the car, even though Henry Ford strongly opposed it. That's why he wrote the book, The International Jew. That's why he worked tirelessly to keep it out. Because now you see people that can't afford a house, that nobody's buying cars without debt. Now, because so many people have declared war on...
Okay, so I finally watched Covert Radio's videos with Adam Camacho. Adam was a valuable member of this cult. His bear goggles finally came off. He is out of the cult. A couple of months ago, he had interviews. I didn't realize it was 2 months ago that he had interviews with, or conversations with Covert Radio. If you haven't checked them out, I finally watched them last night. They are definitely worth listening to. So much information. So many dots are connected. Oh, man. What is he talking about?
On God, which is what usury is. They have condemned their fellow man to slavery. And that's why I always preach what I preach about what we say.
What I was going to say was, hey, Covert keeps asking a question that I don't think anybody can or probably will answer. Why are people buying a multimillionaire or a millionaire land? How does that make any sense? All the land that he's on, in my opinion, have been bought by people giving him money in order to buy that land for himself. Doesn't make any sense.
At Veritarian times, because you can always get out. You can always get out. It's just the longer you go, the more painful it is. It's like losing weight or detoxing from drugs or alcohol. The longer you're in, the harder it is to get out, but there's always a way out. The 10 lights of Veritaria. Make the intention. Get out of debt. Buy land. Produce. Aim for self-reliance. Connect with others on the journey. Support.
It's so ironic knowing what you know about Owen Benjamin and listening to him preach these. Make the intention. Get out of debt. Buy land. Everybody else does all those things for Owen. From what I understand, allegedly, the dude named Sam is a guy that does most of the intentions, most of the directions, most of the steering of Veritaria. Now, I'm not too sure if that's true or not. Like I said, allegedly. I'm not I try to be as fair as I can be while calling Owen what he is. In my opinion, that's one of the reasons why why I use another name besides my own. It's the reason why yeah. It's because I do genuinely believe that Owen Benjamin and the Bear Cult are dangerous, predatorial people. Brainwashed people are very dangerous. People that actually believe in what they're doing because they've been brainwashed and whatnot are extremely dangerous. That's why extremists on any side of the coin are extremely dangerous. Why you can manipulate someone so much that they will be the weapon.
The journey and others, stack skills, knowledge and resources, offer value, look for opportunities.
And the fact that he has actually said on camera saying, when I give the nod, kill everybody.
Enjoy the process with the family. Go back to this moment. Go back to this moment in your life when the whore of Babylon is whispering in your ear and you say no. The real N word is no, because that happens all the time, every day.
Oh my! Wow, he drops a little piece of wisdom right there, ladies and gentlemen. The real N word is no, and no is a full sentence. That's why it's very important whenever Owen, if you're listening to Owen and he asks a question, do you understand whatever? It doesn't matter. No, because he is a spellcraft. He is a wizard. He uses spellcraft, wizardry, and rhetoric in order to persuade the audience to do his bidding and to accept his lies. And it's a slow burn. He'll get you to accept the mispronounce the way that he pronounces words, and that's one of the subtle ways that he gets you to just agree with just nonsense, things that do not make sense, because it doesn't make sense for anybody to be buying a millionaire land that they have zero access to. In Covert's video, he was talking to a bear who was on Ursa Rio. I would assume it's the 10 acres that Owen bought in Idaho. And there was a bear working. And Adam was making the point of, there's so many other bears that have donated so much money, so much time, so much effort, so much material. And they're not allowed to step foot on that property anymore. Why? Because they had a falling out with Owen Benjamin. Because the bear goggles fell off. They saw Owen for who and what he was, said something that Owen didn't appreciate, questioned him in some way, and just got banned. So you're participating in something. It's a one-sided, abusive relationship. Whenever you are a bear, whenever you are a supporter of Owen Benjamin.
That little voice. You could have a bigger house. You could have a nicer car. You don't have to pay for it now. You can pay for it later. That's the whore, right? And then the whore of Babylon eventually is sacrificed, as the nation implodes. Do not fear, you're not alone. No, there's no reason to fear at all. None. In fact, the world we're fighting in now is pretty not scary compared to past wars. The modern territory is the internet. It's like battling cyber attack.
He's so out of touch with reality. And there is some truth to what he's saying. But to say that, because the only thing that you have to do is what? Cut the electricity. And then his war, the reason why it's not that scary or whatever, is because it's on the internet. And then that's it. That's it.
And hacking and all that stuff. It's like, we've established our land rights, and there's always like wormy ways of trying to get land rights and all that. I understand that. But the new territory is in branding, in cyber real estate, in being able to be productive, in avoiding the social shame traps. That's our fight. And it's actually not that scary. It's higher level. It's more complicated. It requires more bravery. But the stakes aren't as high as they used to be as far as
this babbling buffoon. And I would like to hear anybody say that what he just said is close to correct. He just said that going to war in cyber territory is oddly more heroic than a physical battle. than going to war in the flesh. Is there anybody out there that can actually explain that to me in such a way that explain it as though I am a whatever you probably think of me, to be honest with you. Dumb it down for me. And this isn't the first time that he has compared himself or exalted himself above someone that has actually done something of any kind of substance besides raping and pillaging people for his own selfish gain while preaching the perverted gospels of Owen Benjamin. Go watch the Milker Nation documentary, the 10-hour documentary on this, there's no commentary on it. It's just clips of Owen Benjamin. And at one point, he compares Beartaria to the kingdom of heaven because there's so many people calling him out on his horse hockey that he actually says, all of you that are going over to Reddit or whatever, one of these days, whenever society crumbles, you're going to be banging on the gates of Beartaria. And I will say, depart from me because I never knew you, which made Beartaria the kingdom of heaven and him, Jesus Christ. He does this so often. But in this particular case, is there anybody that can explain what he means or if he's joking? Like, what's your opinion? Is he joking? Is he being sincere? Is he just a comedian, guys?
Your own life. Like nowadays it's about avoiding temptations, like the sweets and the porn and the easy access to drugs and the easy access to the sex and all that stuff. It just makes you kind of like an androgynous, sad gimp, right? But we don't have to fend off the armies that we used to fend off. Okay, the best part is the movie is about the whore reminiscing about her life, and the highlight was hooking up with a random bum on a boat ride one time. Yeah, Spoolbear, I don't know if you watched the beginning of the stream, but that's my stand-up bit where it's
and one of the things, because he has done a pretty decent job thus far, I think. I can't remember. Well, no, because I think it was less than 5 minutes in this one. Anyway, even if he did manage to go 49 minutes without excessive vulgarity, I want to point out one of the reasons why I think, allegedly or possibly, one of the reasons why I think he does that so many times, makes gay jokes and talks about the male genitalia. And take the Jim Bob instance. Take the Jim Bob circumstance for instance. Whenever Jim Bob showed up dressed the way that he was, what was it? Excessively? Almost the entire time? I don't know. I wasn't there, but I did see video where he just kept talking, just sexualizing the entire situation. And one of the reasons why I think that he does that is he's testing the waters to see if it's going to be reciprocated. I think there's a very good possibility that he is what he claims not to be. And if you know, you know.
That's why I always despised Rose. Because
This is the Texas Goat Radio Show, and I'm your host, Predatorial. As always, till next time, if you made it this far, please like, subscribe, comment, say hi. Tell, yeah.